Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin.
I'm also Dustin.
And returning guest, John from Movie Dumpster. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's as if I never left.
Yeah, it's weird. We're all wearing the same shirts and everything.
Shh,
I planned it that way.
That's it. But we are here to do SCREAMBOX Essentials number 39.
Dude, I'm
We're
biting
creeping,
my nails.
Creeping to 100.
I'm biting my
100
nails.
movies, episode 50. But as of, we do 2 per, so that's almost 100 movies we fucking recommended. But they don't stop, man. So
No.
we won't stop.
Nope, not
And
at all.
I'm here on episode 39 and not 37, but I'm still going to tell this joke because it's a bad joke. But she sucked 39 dicks.
What?
I had to change it because it wasn't episode 37.
Yeah.
Clerks is the reference.
It was 6 times, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Six.
Instead, yeah.
It's Dr. Loomis dicks.
Somehow the number went way down. Anyway, continue. Sorry for my aside.
No, it's all good.
My dick sucking joke that I stole from Kevin Smith.
Oh, man. But yeah, so Dustin, we're getting there, dude, and it's going to be fucking tight once we hit 50. We have something big planned.
Yeah, we
It'll
really
be a ton
do.
of fun.
We really do. I think we have some pretty heavy hitters on this episode. One shot that Sean brought to the table, and the other one I think we kind of came together. Was like, we have to put this on here. I think we both on.
Why haven't we yet?
You haven't talked about it yet? Well, you have talked about it.
That's what I'm saying. We have. I'm like, why haven't we done this one yet for Essentials?
Yeah. But I think on our own shows, I think we kind of did like a deep dive on it, sort of, right, when it was coming out on SCREAMBOX when they sent some screeners. So yeah, this is our first time having it on here to really signal boost it. So we're doing Frogman, which is the one that the both Dustins picked, and then Sean,
the Dustin sandwich.
You brought the Changeling, which
Yes.
I feel like over the years has started to gain a lot more traction than I think it ever really did. So thank you for including it on this Essential Picks.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of going through SCREAMBOX, seeing what was on there, and that's one that it kind of always jumps out to me that we actually did cover it on Movie Dumpster quite a while ago at this point. Funnily enough, we actually had Tony on that episode from Hack the Movies.
He's very famous.
It just happened to work out that way, but we did that a few years ago, so it was fun to revisit it because I hadn't actually watched it since then. But this movie really holds up great, especially for what year did this come out? 1980. It's a 1980 ghost film, and it's kind of riding that line. You know, you still have that 70s feel, but you're kind of the 80s are just kind of blossoming. We haven't quite gotten into the poltergeist. They're a little ways off still.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of outside of a couple things towards the end that I think it starts to kind of lose its way a little bit. Joseph, the ghost Joseph, goes a little crazy towards the end there for I think just to have a little drama. But I think overall this is a very powerful ghost story that I think in the beginning when you're kind of given this scenario with George C. Scott, who plays this lead character whose wife and daughter are killed, you're kind of not sure what to think. You're like, okay, is the house haunted? Is he just haunted? And you're kind of not sure what direction, what fork in the road the movie's going to take, and I like that about this film. I will say my one negative, and then I'll let you guys speak, is that maybe I wish it was a little scarier. But for 1980 and for the vibe that they're going for, that the director Peter Mennick is going for, and the people working on this film, I think they kind of nail it 95% of the time, and that's a success for me. And poltergeist films are some of my favorite in the horror, one of my favorite horror subgenres. So it's definitely one that I'm glad I got a chance to rewatch for this show because I think a lot of people need to come back and watch this again. I mean, if you look it up, people were big on this when it first came out, but yeah, it definitely is not one you hear a ton about anymore, especially in conversation about George C. Scott or haunted house movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one already, Dustin, or is this one that you you have? Do you remember?
Yeah,
when
this wasn't a first time watch. To be honest, man, it was more than likely when I listened to Movie Dumpsters episode, because what I used to do is I used to watch, if I hadn't seen the movie at that point, I would watch the movie before I'd listen to the episode to kind of get the feel of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So it was a couple of years ago, I feel, was my very first time. But like Sean said, I do wish it was a little more scary. Ghost, Poltergeist, Wise, because we do get the seance scene, which I really dig.
Oh yeah.
Dude, and I was just cracking up because you were like, is it him that's haunted of the house? And all I thought of was fucking Len Shay going, it's
Oh,
not the house that's haunted.
that's the thing. This is one of those films too that just once you see it, you kind of put those pieces together. Like, oh, this was Insidious was riffing on. This is what even Poltergeist is riffing on to some extent. So it kind of sets a lot of those pieces ahead. Even the ball being thrown, Conjuring kind of took that later on.
Yeah.
So it all even has that kind of element to it, just from a film historical standpoint.
Yeah, very influential as a Poltergeist movie.
Mhm.
But no, this was not my first time watching it. And I was super pumped when Sean picked it because it was this or Satan's Little Helper. And
Oh, you guys already
Yeah.
did that one.
Yep. I did that one
dude,
real early on. I love that movie so much.
I would
That
not even
that
be
that is
mad if we revisit it. So,
we're gonna.
I
I want
figured
to
it
do a full
was
deep dive on it, so we'll definitely do that.
well, I know some people who dig it. So,
yeah.
like,
yeah.
I had originally suggested it because it was October, and then this kind of was my second choice because it also fit the bill of like not that you can't watch a haunted house movie whenever, but it feels extra
Yeah.
special during Halloween season.
Yeah.
dude,
I
I seen a
agree.
meme of Devilman standing there. It said Devilman walked so Art the Clown could run.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I
like,
can
what?
see that.
I'm
I can
like, you're
see it.
not goddamn wrong. Except Art doesn't feel up, his fucking victims. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, to an extent, I guess he peels their skin off, which is tight. But no, Dustin,
Or
what about you?
loose.
Oh yeah,
For me, no, this is not my first time watch. I think I saw this maybe going back 10 or 12 years ago when I think when Blockbuster was still around, like towards the end of it, like kind of phasing out. Renting movies all the time on Fridays and Saturdays, and I'm pretty sure this was on the shelf. And I remember watching it. It was this one, and then they had the movie House next to it.
Oh yeah.
So they were. I
damn
don't
it,
know
dude.
what they were trying to do there. I think it had to have been around Halloween, so they was trying to get some haunted house movies up on there. So we rented both of those, and I watched this one before House, and I remember being pretty scared. I was younger, very very young, watching this, and yeah, it left a mark. And then I refound this through Joe Bob when they did their deep dive on Last Drive, and I was like, that movie. So I was like, okay. And then you picked it again. Well, you picked it for this one, and I was like, oh, I need to watch this movie again because I love George C. Scott, even though, yeah, he may have been an asshole in real life and whatever, but
Yeah,
you
I
can't.
literally was saying the same thing earlier. He's like one of those, but he's just such a good actor. He's like one of the best
Exactly.
Scrooges ever. Like it is what it is. I'm trying not to
Yeah.
overthink that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like Chevy Chase. You love
Yeah,
to hate
yeah.
him, and yeah,
exactly. So yeah, it was definitely a great film, I think, to put in this month, and for coincide with the other movie that we picked for this episode. I think they're different, but they kind of share some sort of same qualities as feel. I think with how everything kind of goes along. But yeah, it's definitely a movie you guys need to check out, and it's on Screenbox, and there's no excuse not to watch it.
so you're telling me that the Changeling fucks?
Yes.
And it's not the Angelina Jolie version, unfortunately.
Oh, there we go. Fuck.
Uh, and if you know the story, that actually gets. Don't overthink it. It actually makes Dustin not look too good. If you actually know what the changeling is, they explain it in the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
But I'm there with you. Otherwise, there, D.
Yeah.
But
Oh
yeah,
man.
definitely a great
So
movie to go check out.
so you got them Rotten Tomatoes scores pulled up?
I sure do.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So we will go
$1.
with.
Don't $1 me, Sean.
No.
We're gonna go with the critic score, and there's 26 reviews, which is a hell of a lot less than the movie that we just did prior to this, which I had 75 reviews, and this is an older movie. So 26 reviews sitting at the critics. Sean, what do you think they put it at?
This one's a little tough because I think this story's very interesting, but I'm thinking about it. It involves like the ghost of a child and kind of some heavy material, especially for the time period. So I wonder if that would have turned people off. Not to always think about it that way, but just to kind of get the score right in my brain. 77 is my guess.
Okay, Dustin.
Say 54.
Well, it's sitting at a whopping 85%, but not
There you go.
certified fresh.
Not yet. 88,
yet.
baby.
You guys have done more of these. I haven't looked at Rotten Tomatoes in a minute. I'm like a little rusty on this.
Dude, some of them surprise us, and we do this
Yeah.
all the time.
We did Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder from Hell, and there were no ratings at all on those, dude.
Okay.
And there's people that get paid to do these ratings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, right.
It's a really good Evil Dead ripoff. Really good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So now the audience score, which is it has more than 10,000 reviews. Audience score.
Audience, I'd say like 80. I'd say 90. Let's say 90.
Okay.
It's like 69.
79.
Really?
79.
Shit.
So this movie,
Wow.
it's got a lot of praise.
Really?
A lot of
Yeah, there we
praise,
go.
Which is
I
great.
guess for 10,000 reviews, that is actually pretty good. I'm just kind of surprised. I would have thought it was higher. I guess a lot of people didn't like Joseph's tantrum at the end either.
They didn't like the apparition of the fucking the pastor walking through a burning house. That's what it was.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I mean-
they're like, why the fuck is he there? And he's at his desk shaking it. I just didn't understand.
Oh, well, right. Yeah, exactly. It was clearly supposed to be his soul, but you're right, people. It went right over people's head.
Yeah,
I guess 80 is like a 4 out of 5, so that's about right.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And then Sean, did you by chance rate this on Letterboxd?
I gave it a 4 out of 5. That's kind of where I landed. Again, some of the
Okay.
stuff towards the end when the ghost kind of goes crazy. I mean, that's kind of what you want in your poltergeist film, but it's almost like, all right, what does this thing really want? Does it want revenge? Does it just want its like body to be found so it can rest at peace? That's it starts to lose me a little towards the end there, and even kind of loses George C's character. He's even yelling at it at one point, which I think is actually intentional by the director's intent. If that made sense, it's intentional,
sure.
but I don't
Sure,
love it
yeah.
because of that. The stuff with the well and everything is really interesting. How he kind of just puts all the pieces together. It turns into a little bit of a detective movie in the back half, and it's different because of that, and memorable also. And it does kind of have that cliche of the fucking house burning down, like the House of Usher and everything else. But hey, it's a striking image. I don't know. It's good.
Dustin, what about you, man? What'd you rate it?
Same, 4 out of 5. I think it's definitely one that people need to go and watch, especially for like haunted house films. Coming off of like the even like in the 40s and like the 30s, like those ones, and you watch those and you jump to this one. It kind of has like the same vibe as that, and I think it takes it on a little bit more serious. I mean, like you were saying earlier, Sean, like I wish it was a little bit more scarier, like there was a little bit more dark tones to it. And not to say this movie isn't dark, because it definitely follows a serious like subject and what's going on. You're dealing with a dead kid for all the whole movie.
It's
so
more shocking.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I dig it a lot, and people need to go and watch it if you haven't seen it already.
I think this movie's just missing Zelda Rubinstein.
Well, Poltergeist is one of my favorites.
No,
even
I
though it
know,
is
yeah.
such a drastically different kind of ghost film, and I don't know, maybe that's just what I like more in my horror. But highly recommend this one for sure. And it's on ScreamBox, so what's the excuse?
Exactly.
Exactly. I gave it a 4 out of 5 as well. This movie
Wow.
fucking rips.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the story. So interesting. And yeah, it's good shit. So no
yeah.
half stars here, Sean.
No, yeah, I hate half stars. I was joking about that on Twitter X or whatever the fuck we're calling it now.
No half stars, baby.
No half
Yeah.
measures. We heard that from Mike in Breaking Bad. We got to stick to that shit.
Oh, so Dustin, do you want to talk about the movie we collectively brought?
Yeah, and I don't know why it took us so long to get it on this list. I mean, like I said earlier, I think we both kind of covered it a little bit more in length when it came out. But the movie's Frogman, and if you haven't heard Frogman,
And it fucks.
Yeah, I have the fucking MILF shirt in the other room.
Oh man, I wish. I have this super rad lunch meat VHS right here. And then I got the really good TerrorVision Blu-ray as well, dude. I love this movie.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it just a little bit, enough to entice people to go and watch it if they haven't already. One, there's a band in it called Frog Lord. And
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Dude, on the Blu-ray, like TerraVision stacked it, dude. Like the features on the Blu-ray rule. There's a full-length music video, this Frog Lord video, that is the song that's playing in the car when Dallas is driving down this road, dude. But man, before though, do you want to do our Rotten Tomatoes now, or do you want to do it after?
We could talk. We could talk about it a little bit before, and then we'll do the Rotten Tomatoes after. Because I want to hear both of your thoughts on this film. Because it's just one of those movies that came out. It's found footage, and it's dealing with cryptids. And after talking to Anthony, talking to Anthony about what he was doing and what he was thinking about this movie, just to kind of go on like a side tangent, is he was trying to find ones that people weren't really talking about or like putting in any kind of media, and he just stumbled upon Frogman and gathered a bunch of lore. And some of the movie in here, he may have crafted his own little bit of lore to flesh it out a little bit more, which I think it all really works. Is really good visuals in here. I think the aesthetic and like the time period that it's trying to put itself in, I think it works really well. And the town is creepy AF.
I love it, dude. I love that. I mean, I grew up around towns like that in South Carolina. Like, there's one street roads that run through it's called Main Street, and that's where the town is. Dude, I love that shit, dude. Sean, are you big into cryptids?
I am not. I appreciate them. Anytime one is brought before me, I'm like, holy shit, what is that? Bigfoot, Mothman, what am I looking at? But I am not one to hunt them out personally. I'm always there for, but I only am familiar with a few of them, to be perfectly honest.
Did you end up watching Frogman?
I did watch it. Wasn't the biggest fan, but
that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair enough.
I am not. I've notoriously on my show, maybe not notoriously, I'm not trying to sound like a fucking like Billy the Kid out here or something. A lot of these kind of films, I totally respect them, and they're just not for me. I don't know. There's something about the shot on video, kind of the VHS look. The I guess this is kind of what's the term you just said?
Found footage.
Found footage look. They definitely nailed that 100%. You definitely get those Blair Witch vibes are kind of bleeding off this film, which I'm assuming is what they were going for. I just wish like the first half of the film was truncated, but I guess there's that runtime situation. Just all the party shit. I was like checking my watch pretty hardcore. But once they're out in the woods, I'm all there for it. I'm like, holy shit, where's this monster? It just took a while for me to get there. But I understand like this is very low budget production, and they did everything they could to get this vibe they're going for. So it's pretty damn cool that it exists. And just like you guys have the VHS tape there, Dustin has the Blu-ray, and this thing's been blowing up for like, I don't know how long it's been out now, but I feel like I've been seeing this on social media.
Last year. I think around this time too of last year.
Okay. It took me to do this show to finally watch it, so shame on me, I suppose. But it's been like on constantly you see it being talked about by different people, not just you guys. I see everyone kind of talking about it here and there.
Frogman 2.
Are they doing one?
Yeah, Frogman fucks again.
Yes.
I'm there for Frogman 2. I'd like to see how they can escalate this idea. Because I really love all that stuff. I kind of almost wish it was a little bit more like Blair Witch, where you don't see as much, but I do like when they do show it. It's like, fuck it, you see the whole thing.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
it's like that's the thing. It's like
great. Come on, like
the wand.
That's
what was
perfect.
that?
That's part of his lore. That's part of the Frogman lore, is he carries that shit around. But what they did change, like you said, they made up their own lore in this, is the friend, because the friend gets thrown up on, right? And that they're like, yeah, he's turning into a frog monster because of that. That's not why. It's because the girl gets wrapped up in her in the tongue, right? So why didn't she turn into the frog monster?
Yeah.
What happens is you see like the camera fall and he's running away, and you see Frogman skulk by. Then there's a flash on the screen. That's because he hits him with his fucking wand, dude. I love this movie. I'm very big into cryptids. I like the idea. If it could exist, does it exist? I like how it was shot on Super 8, and they explained why. He goes, this is the camera that I caught it on in the 90s, that I want to do it on this camera. So they got away with doing it like that. The whole town being in on this cult of the Frogman was fucking phenomenal. Yeah. Like everybody's a part of it, dude. And I really dug it, especially It was
I was gonna say the old lady.
Yeah, the Airbnb lady, and they go out into the woods and they chase the dude that's in the Frogman suit. And they're like, why the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, why the fuck are you doing this? He goes, yeah, people normally don't chase me.
Yeah.
Nah,
Man.
yeah.
But my favorite part is when he buys that fucking Frogman flute
Yes.
and he's playing it. Oh my
I couldn't
god.
believe that. I was like,
It
you
was
bought one of those?
perfect, dude. But no, I feel like we don't see too like what we see of the Frogman monster is enough. Like it's not
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
overbearing. It's not like we don't get a really good look at him, which I really liked.
The
And
longest shot is when it's like wrapped, the tongue's wrapped around Amy,
Mhm.
which thank God, because she was the most annoying character ever. I was like, kill this woman, please.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Apparently, because I was watching the Blu-ray, man, and they filmed like almost 2 movies because there was a
Wow.
part where like the part where he professes his love to her, completely different in the other movie because
Ah.
they make this thing happen, but they're like, we needed it to be like when the tensions are high, why the fuck are you bringing this up? Type of thing. Like we're about to die, dude. And there's a whole different ending because I love
Okay.
the YouTuber that's in this movie that's trying to debunk him.
I forgot about that.
Oh my god, dude! And the
That actually, I like that, but it did take me out of it a little. I forgot I was watching a movie for a second, but it was like kind of well done the way it was edited together.
I
Especially
love
the
it.
ending where he's like sitting there, like in the audience, like not getting up, like clearly like reliving it or has PTSD or something.
So the other ending they filmed, like the grandpa that from the town walks in
Okay.
holding the fucking baby frogman that his daughter gave
Oh,
birth to,
the tadpole
and
thing.
the tadpole thing, and then he walks at the Dallas, is on stage talking to the YouTuber. He goes, "Yeah, do you fucking believe me now?" And he goes, "No, it's fake." And the little baby throws up on him. Like they show like him like his face melting off and shit.
Oh, that's
Why didn't
sick.
they use that?
I'm like, give me that stuff. That's what I want too. I mean, I love how we got it because it's very somber, like how the movie
yeah.
ends in this cut. Like it's like his what did he lose? What did he gain from proving that this frog existed? He gained
Nothing.
literally nothing because his best friend is now a fucking frog monster, and the girl he loves moved across the country.
And
What's nothing?
he didn't save that guy's granddaughter either. He pulled her out of like an egg sack and she instantly like it looked like she was gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nothing.
And
But
gave
man,
birth.
I love the fact that this is not an unknown because the people who are like Brad, for example, old man Brad, he knows all about this cryptid because he's from Ohio.
Oh
Oh.
yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's like he goes, "Yeah, I love the Loveland Frogman. I grew up around there." I mean, down here we have the fucking skunk ape. Like
Skunk
I'm
Ape is sick.
all about the skunk ape, man. But this movie rips, dude. And Anthony Cousins has a lot going for him.
Yeah.
I know I keep
agree.
going to this Blu-ray. The Blu-ray has 3 short films that if you guys, Sean, if you haven't seen it, dude, I'm gonna send you these shits. Watch them when you can.
I'll check him out.
Dustin, if you haven't seen them, watch, dude.
I have.
Oh my god, there's one that's called The Bloody Ballad of Squirt Reynolds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And the
titles are great
reason
too.
the reason why is because there's a kid at this camp that's really scrawny. Like the camp counselors are telling the story. They're like, what did he wear? They're like a Burt Reynolds mask. Okay, well, he wore this Burt Reynolds mask and he's really scrawny. He didn't want to be made fun of anymore, so he fucking works out and beefcakes up, dude. And then he goes on a rampage. This is all told in like 7 minutes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Then there's the every time we meet up for ice cream, your whole fucking face explodes. That's a really good one too, man. I'm not gonna go on and on about these because we're here to talk about the Loveland Frogman and him fucking. So, Dustin, do you have anything you want to say about this movie?
I mean,
Because I can go on.
No, like everything that you're saying, like I align with. When this movie was sent out for screeners, I think I watched it maybe like 3 or 4 times, and then when it launched on the platform, I watched it, I think another like one or 2 times, and it hung on like I think 1 or 2 like most watched on the platform.
It's still in the
for
top 10. I looked
while.
last night. It's still in top 10.
Yeah, so like it's still there, and it's very, very well done. I'd say compared to a lot of the other found footage movies that have been coming out, like talk about all the fucking like paranormal activity movies that kind of went down there, and then some other ones that were trying to make it but just didn't. I feel like this one gave the genre a bit of a fresh restart, or people being like, oh, this is what it's like. Again, this is what you're supposed to be feeling or seeing when you're watching these found footage films. Sean, I know that you're not like the biggest fan of the genre, which is fine, but like you can at least appreciate like what's going on, like you were saying, and that's important. Because a lot of people do look kind of down on the found footage genre, saying, "Oh, it's just a cheap way to make a film." But I don't think so. You have to think so differently when it comes to, especially
You
when you have a movie like this where you are having a creature and you're getting the makeup done and you're shooting the creature there, and obviously like the whatever you're using for a camera or the lighting, it may mask the kind of jankiness of the costume, which is fine. But yeah, I think this movie, it's definitely one that people need to check out if you like found footage, and even if you don't like found footage, definitely check it out.
Yeah. I don't think this movie would have worked any other way, to be honest. Like this type of movie, like, and the fact that they had to convince us that nothing's staged.
Yeah.
That's what I really like about found footage, because found footage is very easily staged, and it's very noticeable. And this one, it's not, which I really dig. So.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I do like stuff like Cloverfield. It's just generally speaking, I know that's one that is pretty divisive, but I thought was amazing. But just generally speaking, it's hard to do right. I think it actually takes a lot more artistic direction. Because you have to have those scenes, which again maybe is one of my other nitpicks with this film. But it's kind of like, how else do you really tell some of these story beats? Where it's like, well, the camera's just on because they need to get this beat out there. But all these fucking movies in this genre kind of do that to some extent. So is that really the fault of Frogman? That's kind of the subgenre on some level. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see one of these, like you guys are saying, even if it wasn't for me, it does nail that aesthetic, and you could see like what they could do with Frogman 2, or someone else sees this and gets an idea and kind of takes it in a different direction, or maybe fuck it, go full circle, the Blair Witch people see it and try to replicate, and then it totally goes back to shit, and Frogman's got to show them what's what. You know what I mean? It's just interesting that the film and horror especially just keeps evolving and almost kind of evolving on some level. I kind of gone back to those roots and kind of rediscover itself, or at least maybe that's what this guy was going for with this film on some level. Or maybe I'm overthinking it a little. It could go either way on that, but it's interesting regardless.
Yeah.
But you can honestly tell the difference, like you were saying with Cloverfield, like the big budget found footage.
Oh yeah,
type of stuff compared to the indie horror people. I feel like they really care about what they're doing.
Yes.
And I'm not discrediting the big budget either, but it's these people have limitations, and that's why I think it just works so well. And like you said, like they're going to keep the camera rolling. Hell House LLC too, the Abaddon Hotel, says that they're like, no matter what, moving forward, you're fucking recording, and they do the same thing in this. They're like, does not matter what we're doing, just keep recording. So I feel like that's where they kind of get away with always having the camera on. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that.
So all in all, Frogman fucks.
Oh yeah.
He does fuck.
He does fuck.
Man,
I love that. That girl's like, how do you know he's a man?
I was thinking that, honestly. I didn't expect it actually to be in the movie. I was like, okay, movie.
Oh my god, dude.
And then, of course, for the rest of it, I was waiting. I was like, all right, Amy, you're really annoying. I was like, I don't think you deserve to be taken out and made the Frogman's mate, but that seems to be where it's going. We don't quite go there. Or maybe we do, I guess, watch it and find out. But
I feel like what should have happened is the Frogman should have ate Amy, and then like Amy's head would have popped up right here on her stomach, like they did in Power Rangers, that one episode.
Oh god,
when he ate all the Rangers and all the Power Rangers' faces were all on his stomach.
Or let's just get really gross with it. She just like gets pooped out, but she's like the Ace Ventura thing, like she's coming out the tiny hole.
Oh my god, dude! I just imagine it being like Anaconda though, but like he's like regurgitated. And like she's like burning and shit. But I also think she's like way taller than the Frogman, so like he's eating her, and like you see like her body inside the Frogman's body.
I mean, frogs don't really. Yeah, you're right. Frogs would probably be closer to Anaconda, but even then, they would. I don't think they digest their food the same. I think they just swallow and chew.
He's also mythical, like he's magical. So I think
he's got the pretty little wand.
The little fucking wand.
Oh yeah, he's gonna turn your bones to jelly, so he doesn't have to even fucking chew.
That's what I'm saying. Fucking Lockhart style from Harry Potter.
There you go.
All right.
All right, Dustin, what does Rotten Tomatoes say about this movie, man?
Okay, so starting off the critics, keep in mind this movie's only been out a year, and it only has 9 reviews, so that's why
Okay.
I think it's low. It's because it's still kind of fresh, and it's a found
Sure.
footage film, and not that many people like to go and review found footage films, so just keep that in mind. But we're sitting at 9 reviews.
All right, Sean, what you got, man? What's your guess?
It's striking out, but what about 75? What about 75, I think?
Okay.
I'll say 43.
78.
Wow.
All right, there we go.
Oh yeah. And for the audience score, it's got less than 50 reviews, but also the movie is still relatively fresh. What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think they put it at?
I feel like this is going to be a little higher because I feel like most people that are going to actually review this are people that are into this kind of thing, is my guess.
Sure.
So I would probably say maybe like 85.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 86.
Okay. And this surprised me because of like what you said, Sean. People really like found footage, and they usually tend to go and review them. But it's sitting at 50%. And I think
Wow.
it's
Okay.
good, but I'm disappointed. I think it should be in the
Yeah.
80s.
Or at least a little bit, not just 50%. I mean, you got to work towards that, obviously, but that's like such a weird number to land on.
It
Yeah,
is.
half the
and-
people liked it, half the people didn't. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I mean, I said it. I mean, for me personally, I gave it a 2 out of 5. But again, I said what I said. But
Yeah.
I'm not the general person that's hunting for this. That is looking for these kind of films. I mean, I'm always there for them. I will watch the things that
Sure.
Screambox feeds me, the essentials, if you will. But it's not something I am always going to reach for. But the people that do, I'm surprised they don't rate it higher. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes over at Rotten Tomatoes.
that is
Yeah.
very, very true. But this was a blast. Sean, thank you for coming on for another episode, and especially taking part of our Screenbox Essential Picks. For this being 39, and we're 11 away from 50, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I love this little like series we got going on, because Screenbox, I think, just as a service, despite all the things that we do for them and what they send us, I think they just really care about the fan base and fans and people who love horror, because everybody who runs it, it's part of Blade Disgusting and all that stuff, that they love horror movies, and it shows. And I don't ever want it to go away, so you guys need to keep going on there and supporting.
Or else.
Yeah, keep going on and support this show. We say all the time, comment down below what other movies you'd like to see pop up on these essential picks, because I have a feeling that we're going to start running out of ones that we're like, do we really want to put this one on there or whatever? Because there's so much. Like just this month, when we got the thing sent out for us in the beginning of the month, there's like almost 17 fucking movies, dude. It's
Easily.
insane.
This is the first time in my Screambox journey that I was sent more than one screener. That's just showing the amount of shit they're pumping out in October. It's like, it's wild. It's good stuff, man. They don't slow down. They aren't slowing down. So,
no.
Sean, what you got cooking over on your side of the woods you can talk about? We'd love to hear it.
Right now, we got our Trick or Trash Halloween celebration going on over our Movie Dumpster. So we have a Salem's Lot episode out currently. We kind of cover all things Salem's Lot. Predominantly, we're talking about the 70s series, the mini-series, but I read the book, so we talk about that a little. Joe also watched the Rob Lowe version, so we talk about that, and a little bit of everything else, Salem's Lot. We also have a Monster Squad episode coming towards the end of the month here, so look forward to that, and then we'll have to wave to Halloween in the rearview mirror, but let's not rush the season. But that's pretty much what we got going on over at Movie Dumpster. We also, at this point, if you're curious, it's already happened, but we did a live episode of Beetlejuice. I have no idea what I said. We're recording this before that live event. Hopefully, nobody cancels me over my opinions of Jeffrey Jones in that film. But you'll have to go back and check and see what I said. You'll have to roll back the tape, future Sean and viewers and listeners. But that's what we got going on over there.
I haven't seen it yet, and I have zero desire to.
I think it's worth seeing. Definitely see it.
I'm not a Tim Burton fan.
Oh,
Like,
you've
But
told me that before, yeah.
But I have been told that Jeffrey Jones is referenced a lot in this movie, and I'm like, why?
Shockingly more than you would think.
But anyways, I'm sure they'll have a recap up, maybe at a certain point this month if it's being recorded. I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for them now.
A recap? A movie dumpster?
Yeah. For the are you recording it or is it just going to be live?
Oh, it's going to be a live event, so it already will have happened by the time this episode airs on your channel. It was back in the beginning of October. Unless everything burned to cinders, hopefully not for mine and Joe's sake, but it was streamed live from the Chamonix Creek Brewery. It was a first time thing we ever did. We did do a live show a couple years ago, but that was a totally different kind of ball game. So hopefully everything worked out. Hopefully Jeffrey Jones, the ghost of Jeffrey Jones, and
God damn it,
didn't ruin it for us. But you can check that out over on our channel. That's something else that we recently put out.
Yeah, so there will be a video recap, which I'm fucking pumped for.
Yeah, well, no, just to clarify, it'll be an episode review that's live. It'll be like the first time we've ever done this.
By recap, I mean it's the episode posted. Like recorded. Yeah. That's what I mean by a recap.
Got ya. Semantics.
Yeah. Tomato. Jeffrey Jones, what he did.
Oh no.
Anyways, we need to stop talking about him.
Yeah, sorry about that. I brought him up.
Well, we said his name too many times, he'll apparate through the mirror.
No.
But Dustin, we got a t-shirt design coming in. If it hasn't already landed, from our good friend Derek Eyeball Soup, we are fucking pumped for this shirt to drop.
Hell yeah.
Maybe you'll have seen teasers for it. I don't know. Probably not. We'll probably just drop it when it's done.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll probably play that by ear. But I'm stoked. I'm stoked. So stoked.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And then by the time this is out, we have talked a lot about Halloweens. So I hope you guys enjoyed what we've said about them so far.
Yeah.
Particularly about the second one. And yeah, so that's all I got, man. Do you have anything before we get out of here?
I just want to say thank you guys, as always, for supporting the show, and thank you for people like Sean from Movie Dumpster and every other podcast or show that's out there for wanting to come on and do one of these with us, because it's such a fun time to just highlight some movies and add some more to people's lists. I say this all the time, the one reason why I really wanted to start doing this essential picks for SCREAMBOX is because their output is insane. And it's hard to figure out what the hell you want to watch. So I wanted to do this weekly show of at least picking 2 movies that you guys could pick to go and sit down and watch maybe on the weekend after your work week's all done, and sit down and relax. You got one for your Saturday and Sunday, and then just enjoy and share it around. But yeah, you guys can support us on Patreon, or you can find us on all your audio and video platforms that you go and watch things, especially on YouTube. We have a lot of really cool things coming out. You would have seen a lot of the new artwork that we have gotten done by a good friend of the show, Jason Miller Art. He's a fantastic independent artist over in the UK who's done a lot of art for the show, and I couldn't ask anybody else to go and make essential pieces for the show. But yeah, it's just been a great ride. We're at 39. Getting very, very, very close to 50, and we have a really big episode planned for that. But that's pretty much all I have for here. And Sean, thank you again for being here. Dustin, it's always great having you on and talking to you every single week as my new permanent co-host. I'm so excited for our future and everything else that's happening or has already happened on this show.
I'm like herpes. You can't get rid of me.
On that note.
Anyways.
Dude, with you sometimes.
I broke him.
I really can't. But yeah, Sean, thank you so much. You guys go check out Movie Dumpster. The links will be down below for you guys to go check them out and support them. They have a great show over there and cover a lot of really cool things. And yeah, it's been a blast.
One would say Movie Dumpster fucks.
Yes.
It does fuck. Yeah, Dobby from the movie
Oh,
universe
Dobby.
definitely fucks. Put it that way. But on that beautiful note, thanks for having me again, gentlemen. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
Of
man.
course, man.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Later.